So I'll kick it off by thanking Brendan for, don't go far, Brendan. Brendan has really been one of the linchpins in the launch of the organization, getting us off to a strong start. So big thank you to Brendan and welcome to Shelby. Yep. Brendan, how would you like me to do this? Yeah. Well, I'll just kick it off in the sense that in my mind we've completed phase one, which was to get the group together, get to Santa Barbara, and have a productive start. The way the players and sporting staff, as well as the front office, have come together, in a short period of time with some challenges has been outstanding. It was a really good couple of weeks, with the finishing act, a win in preseason, which is certainly part of the objective too. So good start and excited to have media day and be in front of you all, here to help. Yeah, fair question. Look, I think we've got a couple weeks here at Infinity Sports Park in the Denver marketplace to take another step forward. Part of it is getting to know the daily routine, quite honestly. I just tried to open 4 doors and they were locked, so I made my way around. It's little things like that. But we're ready for that. We've got the staff and the players to tackle all the good stuff as well as the challenges. Then we'll head to Coachella, Palm Springs for 2 really important games, with some training certainly, but two big games to see where we are and just further kind of embed the culture and the tactics, and then we'll be back. So I'm not sure about the phases, but we're biting it off as we chew, kind of in 2-week increments. Before you know it, we'll be back here getting ready for May 14th and our 3-game road trip to start the season. Yeah, good to see you.
So 40,000 tickets sold already for the kickoff. Seems all guaranteed to smash the attendance record. What's your thoughts on just kind of lead up to that game? I know you have a road trip before that, but the excitement going into what will probably be a record-setting match.
Well, the excitement's awesome, and it doesn't surprise me. The energy that I've felt from the Denver marketplace since June when I got here, but before that, the history of the sport here, the people that have built it, it really doesn't surprise me, and yet the energy is flowing. March 28th can't get here soon enough. It'll be a big day in all of our lives, our career lives as well as our personal lives. Those of us who have players, staff, myself, ownership that have worked so hard to build the game over a lot of years. It's a big moment on a lot of fronts for the organization, for all of us personally, and what we're here to do is build upon it and not just be satisfied with one game. Yes, sir.
Good to see you again. Matthew Rick with Pitcast. Last time we talked to you, you talked about roster construction and also the culture in roster construction. Having one game under your belt so far, how do you feel about the makeup of the team you've assembled?
I feel great. Like I said, we had an incredible couple of weeks, which were important but didn't surprise me. The people that we've been able to assemble, players, sporting staff, coaches, front office, our ownership. There's a consistency in the process, in the sense that this type of opportunity attracts great people, quite honestly. Builders, people that want to be a part of something special, people that want to be in this market. It's not the hardest thing to sell, that's for sure. And when you're recruiting, and that's ultimately what I've been doing a lot of with Nick and David and so many others over the last 6, 7, 8 months, it's about what you're selling. It's about the realities of it. And I think that this is, the 40,000 tickets sold is a piece of it, but it's the commitment to building the best possible organization in every single way. And you see it daily in the commitment of our ownership group.
Kurt, Janine, Sonis, you've got a lot of veterans on that back half, some exciting young players too, but what do you see Janine's role being in terms of leadership and, a pillar on the back end?
Well, I think, you said it, it's multi-layered, if that's the right word. Janine brings, a lot of talent, individual talent. She also brings an understanding of what it takes to be successful in NWSL specifically and in the global game. And she's got an incredible perspective around NWSL outside of the white lines, in the locker room, in the community. And this is her community. So, if you want to talk about somebody that checks the boxes of what we need in this moment in time and is excited about being a part of it, she checks all those boxes for sure.
A couple of questions for you, Kurt. One, how many more players do you anticipate signing before the start of the season? And then two, just in general, you've touched on it in a bunch of the different answers, but the excitement level and how palpable does it feel with this, it's real now. Training camp already and a scrimmage already and March 14th quickly approaching.
Yeah, we'll announce a couple more signings certainly before we get much farther into the preseason. So we're really excited about that. As you know, roster building never stops. You're always looking to build and tweak and add to the mix to be obviously as successful as possible. So that's something that'll be ongoing, and very excited about the players that we're going to be able to announce here in the next couple of weeks. And then, sorry, what was your? The excitement.
What was the excitement?
Every moment is new. We had our first team photo before our first training session. We had our first goal in a preseason game with referees. We got on a flight together for the first time. We're having our first media day. So all of it is exciting, but the reason why it's exciting is because of the interest, right? You all being here, the tickets we're selling. So the excitement comes certainly from within. That would be there regardless, but it's magnified because of the community interest, the state interest, and the resources that we have. I think you'll see that in your experience today here. I would want you to walk into the different rooms where possible and see our content day, our media day. I think this will, stand up against any organization around. So we're really proud of all the different pieces. It builds upon itself. I'm here to throw gasoline on the fire and make sure that we've got a strong group of people and players representing the organization.
I'm going to switch your mics in.
Is that better? Okay. Yeah, when I talk about the community and I talk about the soccer fandom, it's everybody. It's everybody that loves the game, right? And certainly the Latino fan base is at or near the top in terms of that historically, culturally, all that. So, look, we are in a melting pot of a city. We're in a melting pot of a state. We're in a melting pot of a country, and everybody's welcome here. And we're excited to put on, a show and put a team on the field that's representative of this country, of this city, and one that puts people on the edge of their seat and that they want to come back and watch.
John Abbey, photojournalist, Burgundy Way. Speak to how
first, I mean, her performance was outstanding. Would have loved to have seen her, for longer. But in the 45 minutes, Io, I thought, showed very well, to say the least, for somebody that's young and getting her first cap. Incredible assist, but just from minute 1 to minute 45, she's an integral part of a good half there, a very good camp. I know she's feeling really positive about it. So tons of pride in her in terms of how she handled it. And I'll just add that on her off day, she spent it with us. The camps were very close. The hotels were very close. And she spent her off day with her teammates, meaning her off day from the national team camp. She came to our camp, to our hotel, and spent the day with the group, which says a lot about her.
And did you help deliver the news to her that she was getting called up?
No, I did not deliver the news. It was late one evening, and I think it was delivered by U.S. Soccer.
On the goalkeeper competition, is it an even race between Abby and Jordan? Like, what does that kind of look like as you go into the preseason here?
Yeah, it is. Everybody's competing for the starting job. We'll add another goalkeeper to the mix for sure, and everybody starts with a clean slate and the opportunity to be the starting goalkeeper. Hey there.
Hallie, with Sum It Up, Lindsay was announced. Obviously, she's finishing out her contract at Lyon. Hopefully, she'll make a cameo here in April with the national team. What are those communications, between now and the summer? Do you just kind of let her be and finish out her Lyon responsibility?
Well, huge respect for what she has to do there and the opportunity that she has, and I know from her mouth how important it is to finish her time there on the highest possible note and win some trophies. So we have a lot of respect for that, and yet certainly, we want there to be communication. We want her to feel a part of this and in the big moments. And we'll work through that as opportunities arise. But we're certainly in touch with her and rooting hard from afar as well.
Last one, Matthew.
Kurt, with regard to that, Lindsay, obviously captain U.S. women's national team in her tenure. She won't be here until the summer. Allie Watt was player 1 for the Summit signings. Has anyone kind of reached towards the top with Summit towards a captaincy to enter the season?
Well, I think, one of the reasons why the first couple of weeks have been really positive is we've got a group of leaders. I like the phrase key leaders in an organization, and we clearly are going to have a lot of key leaders within our team that they're going to help in different moments. And I think it's a long season, lots of up and downs, lots of fun, lots of challenges. And you need a variety of different personalities with different experiences, different input, and each will have their moments for that. Certainly the more experienced players tend to be, more acquainted with the ups and downs, and therefore feel more comfortable interjecting. The reality is we're going to expect, that was me before, by the way. A lot of coming into doors and making sure we're going in the right entrances. But yeah, short story, we have a lot of leadership, a lot of people with experiences, and yet a lot that are bringing new things to the table from different leagues, different countries. So I think we're in a good position there.
Thank you very much, Kurt.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Folks, we're going to bring in Denver Summit FC head coach, Nick Cushion. Nick?
Morning, guys. Good morning. How are you? Yeah, good, thank you.
Nick, do you just want to start with some thoughts on how the preseason has gone and how Denver Summit FC is taking shape today?
Yeah, it was a really critical period for us preseason because it was the first time we were together. We had a really good day introducing ourselves to the team on 2 days before we went to Santa Barbara, and then we had 2 weeks of really good work on and off the field together as a group, and laying the foundations for who we want to be, and getting together on field and getting a chance to work. And it was really encouraging, it was really exciting, and it was really fun. So finished with a really good game against solid opposition, and for a first trip was really, really positive.
Kyle Newman with the Denver Post. In the goalkeeper battle, obviously Abby's the veteran, Jordan coming off an outstanding college career. What are you looking for in both of them as you progress forward to try and name a starter ahead of season opener?
I think my ethos with all of our players will be that we want to challenge them, and we want to support them, and we want to try and improve them. And that's no different to whether you're a rookie or you're an established senior professional. And of course, Abby comes in with experience, which is invaluable. But Jodie has come in with a real enthusiasm, a real hunger, and a real energy. So I've been really pleased with the goalkeeping department. Is going to be competitive. You look at, I did one-to-ones with all of our players, and one thing Jodie said to me was that, she doesn't want to be seen as a rookie that is just here to train. She wants to compete for the spot. So that is exactly what I want within our squad. One of the things that I really believe is that competition for places brings you consistency in your performances, and that's something that I want. I want intensity inside the group. So we played them both 45 minutes each in the first friendly. We'll work as a group to see how we navigate that. But if you ask me now, who's going to start on that first game, is anybody's.
Do you see it as a platoon, like going forward in the season, or do you really want to ride one lady?
Yeah, I think for me is probably important to get consistency in the goal. There will be opportunities to change and opportunities to, switch the goalkeeper out, whether that's based off, rest or injury or performances. But I think it's important to have a consistent goalkeeper behind the back line and a consistent sort of defensive setup. So for me, it's about trying to work out as quickly as we can who is going to be established in the goal.
Nick, what are some of the challenges that come with everything being brand new and starting from the ground up, and how have you tried to tackle those challenges?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I see it as a huge opportunity. Most of the places that you step in, you're following somebody, you're following some history, whether that be ups or downs. I think, of course, there are challenges to expansion. You don't know anybody, you're getting to know each other. I always think when you look at a good culture and a bad culture, and we see that across all different walks of life, it's about when you start to learn people's bad habits, right, and they start to really sort of annoy you. But I think for us, it's about it's a great opportunity. I said to the players on day one, right, this is a blank canvas. Of course, we have a name and a brand, and we have an incredible fan base, and we have an amazing infrastructure that we're going to be able to work out of and play out of. But actually, who we are and our identity off and on field is down to us, and that is an incredible opportunity. I said to our ownership and to Jen and Kurt and David from day one, in my opinion, the decisions that we make from through 2025 are going to be the critical decisions that make us competitive. And I haven't changed on that, in the sense of the decisions that we make through 26 are going to give us the best chance of how competitive we are. When I walked into the room and seen our squad and our staff, I really believe we've made some really, really good decisions. Now it's about all of us, making those decisions and choices that are going to direct our team to, I take the responsibility of playing in front of our incredible fan base as a really important responsibility. And after 2 weeks together, I see some really encouraging signs, but we haven't picked a team yet, we haven't played a game yet. Those are the things that dictate whether you are a really good sporting organisation or not. And I'm confident that we will move forward.
Nick, Arne Anderson, Fox 31. We're less than 6 weeks away from the opener, and Kurt talked about phases. For you, could you give us an idea where this group is now, and what
Yeah, I think an 8-week preseason for me is a little bit longer than I'm used to, which is good in this scenario. I normally work through a 6-week, 7-week preseason, so 8 weeks is good. We've got a lot more work than everybody else because we're brand new, right? I think we set objectives for Camp 1, and the objectives were to get some physical gains. It's preseason, right? We need to get back to the level where we can play at the intensity that we want to play at. And we wanted to lay the foundation for our culture and our environment. Of course, there are tactical elements and game identity, but it isn't the critical objective in this first phase. I was really pleased with that, with the Santa Barbara trip and how we put the foundation in for the culture and environment and how hard the players worked and invested in the physical sort of adaptation that we wanted. Now we're moving into the sort of game identity phase. We have a 2-week period here that is critical for us to lay some foundations on who we want to be as a team on field, moving into Coachella and that tournament where there'll be competitive games. So we've got to work through the phases and continue to plan and evaluate as we go through those. We're going to hit some bumps in the road. We're going to get some periods that are difficult, but our culture will dictate whether we absorb those moments and how we react to them. We just got to move through it logically and not get too ahead of ourselves or too down in those difficult moments. And one thing that I'm really confident and that I'm really pleased with is I've got an incredible staff behind me, and I've only worked with the majority of them for 2 weeks now, but I'm incredibly confident that we've got a solid staff that can support and challenge our players.
Hi, Nick. Hallie from Summit Up. I saw in one of the videos posted you alluded to team principles and focusing the team on that. Anything you're willing to share about what's on those boards, or keeping that close to the vest?
Yeah, the social media team posted a little bit more than I really wanted. But no, that's okay. My belief is, and always has been, that if we concentrate on ourselves and we work hard and we commit and we really invest in each other, our game principles will help us go up against anybody. Now, of course, we can't always win, and we're going to be challenged by the fact that we're new. But I think the answer to every problem that you're going to have to solve in the game is within your game identity if you have the detail and the buy-in and the belief. So I've said from day one we're going to be an attacking team. I can't play the game any other way. And I'm happy to own that if it doesn't go well. I have to play the game that way. And I take the responsibility of having 40,000 tickets sold, right? Having season ticket holders and the energy and enthusiasm from our fans. I want to embrace that energy. And I think by attacking teams and the likes of Ali Brazier, right, and Olivia, these players that we have, like, they're attacking players. We've got to go embrace that and use that talent. So the principles are, I'm probably going to keep to myself, but I am excited for the games and the post-match press conferences because I'm happy to be held accountable to whether we're an attacking team or not.
So you mentioned the attacking philosophy, but take me, kind of size up the defense for me. You've got some veterans back there. You've got some promising young players like Ayo. Can this defense be, on paper, it seems like it would be one of the best in the league this year. What are your early thoughts on the defense and what's capable?
Yeah, if you look across our goalkeeping department and through our defenders that we have on the roster, the build at this moment, when you look at it on paper, is top. Kaylee Kurtz has an incredible experience in the league and has been at the level she's performed at has been top. You look at Meg Reed, she's come in, played in the league, but also he's pushing me as the coach, challenging me, which I like. She's got a real energy and a real commitment to wanting to be a solid defensive team. We talk a lot about attacking, but those defenders want a good defensive record. Ava Gaetano is going to be, my job is to improve our players. Ava has got incredible potential. A player that I'm super excited about having in our team. And then you look at our fullbacks like Janine Sonis, Kambergalski, Ayo, Carson. Natalie Means has come in as a rookie and has really, really impressed me. So we have the potential there. We just got to invest in the work now. So, when I say I want to be an attacking team, that is about creating chances and about entertaining. But you won't win championships without a good defensive record. And to give us the chance of being above the line and having a solid position, we have to be a team that can contain opposition. And when you look across the league, we just played Kansas, right? An incredible attack. And to defend the way we did in game one after 2 weeks shows that the potential we have is going to be high.
Channel 11, Colorado Springs. Allie Brazier, you mentioned her. What does she bring to this team, and also having someone from Colorado?
Yeah, I think on field, her talent is high level. You look at the performance that she had this season in NWSL for Orlando is, a really good return in the sense of attacking numbers and the problems that she caused opposition. So first and foremost, to have a good attacking player gives you a chance. But to have somebody with the character that she has and the energy that she has is brilliant for me, because I want energy in our locker room. I want energy in our culture, and Ali is definitely bringing that. And I think lastly, to have the commitment and the desire to invest in Colorado soccer, and she has said this to me in the one-to-one, that she wants to be a custodian for Colorado soccer and give back and give opportunity to young players in Colorado, is something that I think is possibly one of the most critical elements to having a real connection and a real soul in your team. You look at my Manchester City women's team, we had a lot of English players that were able to really embrace the development of the female game in England in those moments through 2014, 2015. Made my job a lot easier. Having Ali and Janine and Jordan and Colorado natives in this team is going to connect our team straight away, and I think that is really important. Possibly the unique thing about our team in the league.
Matthew, last question.
Nick, can you talk about that first match, what you saw from the counting stats, but the performances that don't show up on the box score, and what you'll need to see the team do as far as next steps leading into Coachella and then eventually the start of the season?
Yeah, I think when I evaluate games, first and foremost, I will always evaluate the non-negotiables, right? You can get tactics wrong. You can come up against a solid opposition that poses you different problems. We're a new team, so the game plan is not going to be perfect. But you can control how hard you run and how much you commit for your teammates. And that is a behavior. That is something that you can't hide from, right? And when I watch the game back, and I've watched it 3 or 4 times, it's something I'm really, really pleased with. That after 2 weeks, the players' commitment to playing an aggressive style of the game, to really committing to intensity and effort, was top, really high level. The challenge is to repeat that week in, week out with travel and schedule and weather, and that is difficult, but that's a mentality and that's a character, and I've said that consistently to the team, that our mentality will be what gets us in the line, up the line and into a solid position. It's not tactics. They help, but the mentality and the character of your group and the personality is what's going to get you there. So that was possibly the one thing I was really pleased with. And then there was elements to the game. We created some chances. We scored two top goals. If we can score them in the league, I'll be really pleased. And we contained a solid team, the regular season champions, right? Like we contained that team and competed with that team for 95 minutes, which in our first ever game is a great sign. So really pleased with it, but it's very, very early. We can't get carried away. We play 2 solid teams in Coachella, and you lose both of those games, and nobody remembers that you beat Kansas 3 weeks ago. So we just got to work through the steps and review and improve in areas that we need to, and embrace and enjoy those areas that we're good in. And if we continue to do that, we'll continue to make progress.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Luckily
it. Thank
for
you.
Coach, I wear all my bad habits on my sleeve, so he doesn't have to even learn them.
I've seen them already. I'm joking.
You're gonna rescan it?
Yeah, I keep getting interference.
That's that one. This is the one that we haven't used.
That's the one that's,
Is bothering you?
yeah.
Okay.
It keeps coming up over here.
These 2 mics up here. You want me to bring
Yeah.
it out? I'm not going to use the one up at the.
At the podium? Okay.
I can turn this one on if you're good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Test, test. I'm going to bring in Kaylee Kurtz and Janine Sonis. Ladies? We'll jump straight into questions for Kaylee and Janine. Hallie?
Hi, both. Hallie with the Sum It Up podcast. As players who've been veterans and had a number of preseasons by now, how has that differed as part of an expansion team in a positive way or challenging way the last couple of weeks?
Do you want to start?
I'll start. Well, I've only ever been with one other club, so I only have one other thing to compare it to. But I think it's been amazing. It's been a breath of fresh air for me. I felt like I was getting a little stagnant being at the same club for 8 years. So being at a new club and with such an exciting coach and staff and players all around us, I'm loving it so far. I think. Oh, sorry. Hi.